Welcome to Uncommon Sense, where ordinary financial wisdom just doesn't cut it. Follow along with Erik Bowman as he provides clarity in a cluttered financial world.
Hey everybody, my name is Erik Bowman, host of the Uncommon Sense podcast, owner of Bowman Financial Strategies here in Englewood, Colorado. Today we are going to be talking about three things that a divorcee or somebody who is going to be divorced right before retirement, what must you do to make sure you've got your ducks in a row? So let's break this down. The first thing is, if a divorce is on the horizon, or if you become a widow, you're going to be put into a similar situation. Our recommendation is, and this would be for everybody, you should understand your finances now. Don't try to learn things after the fact. You should be involved in your finances with your spouse. You should know where the assets are. You should know the magnitude of the assets. You should understand how some of the Social Security and pension income streams work. The bottom line is get educated on the financial picture of your household so that when a divorce occurs or if you become a widow, that transition is easier because of the baseline knowledge that you've acquired. The second thing to consider if there's a divorce on the horizon or if you become a widow is taxes. Typically, when you're married, you're going to file your taxes as married filing jointly. When you are filing your taxes, married filing jointly, there are some provisions that can allow you to pay less in taxes than a single person would pay. Basically, the standard deduction is twice as large. The standard deduction, by the way, is the amount of income you don't have to pay taxes on. That's twice as large for a married couple as it is for a single person. In addition, the tax brackets are bigger. So the 10% tax bracket, as an example, is significantly larger. So when you're married, more of your income will fall into the 10% bracket. When you're single, the 10% bracket is smaller, so more of your money is going to leak into the 12% bracket, and actually quite easily it can go into the 22% bracket. So you have to be aware that when you start to file single in the year after divorce or the year after being widowed, that you are going to have a whole different tax situation, and that brings us to number 3. Net income is used to pay your expenses. You need to know your expenses, and it's one of the least fun things that we have to deal with in retirement planning. Clients certainly don't love doing it, but you have to understand your budget in extreme detail if you really want to do a good job of this. So you need to get out a spreadsheet, or there are plenty of pieces of web-based software, or if you work with a retirement planner like us, we actually have different ways of capturing expenses so we can really dig deep and understand what the essential expenses are and what the discretionary expenses are, what the monthly expenses are, and what the annual expenses are. The reason that ties into the very first part, meaning, or the tax component, is you can only pay your expenses with your money left over after you've paid taxes, which is why you want to be tax efficient. Now, if you're currently right in the middle of this, I just want to acknowledge that if you're in the middle of divorce proceedings, that is an extremely emotional time to go through. We've certainly dealt with that with many of our clients. If you're a widow, recently widowed, or maybe you have a spouse that's terminal and you know that's going to happen and you're online researching right now, just know there are professionals out there that have dealt with this before, because when you wrap financial anxiety around the emotional anxiety of divorce and the death of a spouse, it can be really hard to take action. And in particular, you may not feel confident about the decisions you're making. But if you take these 3 steps and you, number 1, start learning about the finances now, number 2, think about taxes, and number 3, make sure you understand what your budget would look like down the road after a spouse passes or after the divorce. If you think that this information was helpful and you want to learn more about retirement planning concepts, please subscribe to my channel, like the video, and I'll look forward to talking more about concepts that can help you save money in retirement.
Investment advisory services offered through Creative One Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Bowman Financial Strategies and Creative One Wealth are unaffiliated entities. We are not affiliated with or endorsed by any government agency and do not provide tax or legal advice. Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal. No investment strategy can ensure a profit or guarantee against losses. Licensed insurance professional. Insurance product guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. The information presented is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as a recommendation or advice for your specific circumstances. Always consult with qualified financial, tax, and legal advisors.